Hey, you're finally awake. Thank goodness. I was hoping hitting somebody with a blunt object 72 times wasn't enough to quite kill them. I mean, murder charges on a Saturday afternoon? What do you think I am? A peasant? Yes. Anyway, would you like to see something cool? No is not an answer. How dare you assume? Follow me. It's in the back of my garden. Ah, yes, I had this built many eons ago. 7 years, to be exact. I call it the Layton Museum, a perfect place full of memorabilia, wonders the eye has never seen. And the wonders the eye has seen, but only on the missing report. No, it's on late night TV, but you know. Oh, wait, ignore the corpses. Don't worry, the police aren't coming. I took care of them years ago.
Louis.
Well, this is it. Welcome to Professor Layton. Truly a puzzling delight. Anyway, if we're going to talk about Professor Layton, we best get you acquainted with the actual characters of the series first. Why not get into that? Right, so before we begin this video properly, I would just like to make a quick clarification that I am only covering the original DS trilogy. Nothing past the last Spectre, or the Spectre Calls, I forget what it's called constantly. So, if you wanted to see that, I'll probably make another video on it, but I need to beat those games first. And yes, that does mean, no, Layton's daughter, you can all stop simping now. The main characters in the Layton series consist usually of a trio, and, well, with the first trilogy, you of course have the iconic Professor Layton with his top hat. His design is very simple, and I mean, I always adore the little dot eyes and smile. It's a very iconic look. It really adds a lot to the entire thing, although I do not like his sprites in the first game, because he's constantly facing forward, and everybody else is facing to the side, and just the inconsistency makes me sad. You've also got Professor Layton's apprentice, Luke Triton, and Luke is one of the best characters ever. He just exists. He can talk to animals. He is like either as intelligent or more intelligent than Blum and Professor Layton, and causes conflict in at least 2 of the games. Wow! Also, his being able to talk to animals allows him to, like, have a hamster which he can control, or a bird, and I mean, I just... What? It's perfect, but still, you don't have to go this way. And, of course, the trio needs a third part, and of course you have Flora... can't pronounce her last name, who shows up and is either an imposter, or an imposter, or another imposter. Yeah, okay. So, bit of a problem there. I do really like her design though. The big eyes make it very distinct that this is, yes, a Layton character, but not one that would just blend into the background that easy. You've also got many side characters, of course. I really like Inspector Chelmy and Barton. I probably didn't say that right, but you know. And I just love the fact that even after the first game, just Luke immediately resorts to reverse police brutality, taking him out. It's perfect. I mean, I love him. I love Inspector Chelmy. And there's also Don Pavolo. Again, not saying that correctly, but still. Who is Layton's arch nemesis and, like, tries to kill people. Because why not? I mean, who really cares? And that just about covers the main series characters. Well, you know, the people who are reoccurring characters. The Professor Layton games are set around the 1960s era. Not much is really, you know, said about the time frame, what really happens, or nothing that is very noticeable and memorable in the games. All I know is they do have inventions, but it still seems to be pre-modern Britain, you know. London isn't all decked out with flashy signs and shops and is more just like a quaint Victorian town. But yet again, the time frame never really discussed, so can't comment on that. Well, you seem well acquainted with the actual characters here enough. So why don't we actually go on to talk about specifics? Let's have a look over in this range. Yes, and you may see this is literally an entire village. I don't know, I came across it one day. Touched one of the coins, everyone died. It wasn't my fault, surely, I didn't mean to cause it. But it does make for a nice piece in the museum, you got to admit. Right, on to Professor Layton and the Curious Village. The Curious Village is set in, can you believe it, the Curious Village. That's not actually what it's called, but I'm too lazy to remember the real name. So let's just refer to it as Village Number 1. You and your accompaniment, Luke, arrive at the bridge and you have to get in and stuff like that. Basically, the main plot revolves around finding a cat. I wish I was joking. I'm not. It revolves around the discovery of the Golden Apple and the Reinhold fortune. Basically, whoever's the first to find the Golden Apple gets the town's fortune and, ownership of the town. And it's been a big mystery for many years, and the professor finally shows up upon request to go, the apple is inside your daughter. The main characters in this game are the same trio as follows, but also with the addition of the Reinhold family. You've got Claudia and the cat. I probably got those mixed up, but pretty much the same character. They've found a good portion of the game, I would say. You just gotta find that goddamn cat. It scratches Luke. It's a bad cat. I hate the cat. But, still there. Someone dies at one point. Thought I'd address that. I mean, this is all spoiler territory, but he did have a warning. And Chelmy's, not Chelmy. It's Don Pavolo, who would have guessed. The game does have a really satisfying conclusion, but I really don't want to talk about that too much, so I think we'll just move on. Right, next would be how fun it is, and I gotta say, for the first entry in a long-running series, it's not an awful diversion from how the series continued. I know that's weird to say because it's literally the first entry, but it fits in with every other game that comes after it. The only noticeable thing being the sprites for not only Layton, but also Luke. I mean, the eyes are confusing, and Layton constantly faces forward, and it just makes me so upset. I don't know why, it makes me so upset. Anyway, you also just have a lot of fun with the puzzles. Not a lot of them really strike that a bit. That really makes the puzzle, oh my goodness, I'm a genius. I did a Professor Layton puzzle. Mother, quickly, call Guinness World Records. Nothing really triggers that reaction. Now, the game's genuinely fun to pick up, play through a chapter or so and put it down, think about it later. And once you've actually reached the conclusion of the game, it's amazing. You feel like the smartest person in the entire world, even though your IQ's probably below 86, which is pretty low. The only bad thing that I would say about this game is probably the puzzle difficulty. The puzzle difficulty is very inconsistent throughout the game. You've got some puzzles that are rated 40 pick rats that took me about 10 minutes to solve, and then you've got this ×3 sped up footage of me trying to solve a 40 pick rats puzzle using all of the hint coins and still failing for a solid minute and a half. This stuff is not that easy, man. But it's so inconsistent as well. There's a weight puzzle, there's putting chicks across a river. And those ones, they're fun to try and figure out the solution, and when you do, you go, wow, I'm pretty clever. But then there's this stupid path one, and I bet this footage is still going, I can't see it in the background. But this one, I meant to record for only 20 minutes, right? This took up at least half of the recording scheme. Overall, Professor Layton and the Curious Village is a perfect way to start the series. Not only is the puzzle difficulty about what you would expect, the story is way above average for any DS game of the time, and seriously has parts where you go, I did not see that coming. Mother! Call the cops! I think I'm having a seizure! You know, stuff like that. But it also has just this essence of originality. You can't find this anywhere else. It is Professor Layton, and yes, it is a visual novel, so some of the dialogue can be noted down to blah blah blah, woman, tap 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 tap, blah 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 blah, killed, tap 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 tap. You know, stuff like that. But that's gonna come with any visual novel, and not all visual novels have the personality and style of Professor Layton. So overall, yeah, a very good game.
Ah, yes, the Elysian box, one of my greatest treasures. I don't know what it actually does, because the people who did have it are dead, and have been for many years. But one of the things I did get from them is that the gas inside can potentially show you exactly what you want. Well, let's see what I want.
The following scene has been censored to protect your eyes. Seriously, what the hell, Goop?
Okay, enough of that. Whew, a bit on here, I think. Sorry, I forgot about my accent. Yeah, I think we just skip past this part.
There are tales of a box that brings death upon any who dare open it. Tell me, do you think those rumors could be true?
And thus, we move forward onto the Diabolical Box, or Pandora's Box, depending on where you come from. I'm probably going to go with Pandora's Box, as it gives the game a bit more mystique, and you don't really get that with the Diabolical Box. It makes it sound like the box just grabbed a Glock 19 from its local Walmart and just started, I don't know, shooting at Professor Layton. Honestly, I don't know what to take from Diabolical Box. All I know is there are two versions of this game. The game mostly takes place on a train, and this train is a train. It is fun though. I mean, walking up and down the train, sure, not that much, but you get to find all of these cool little mysteries, little puzzles to find while trying to find out the main secret of the Elysian box. Probably didn't say that right, but you know, who cares? Which is a box that upon opening it instantly kills the one who opened it. Well, at least that's what the legend dictates, but we can see early on in the game that is not what happens, and it just happens to be a funny gas. Don't tell Diamond that there's a funny gas that doesn't kill people, otherwise he'll get the game banned. The main characters, the main trio in this game, but Don Pavolo does become Flora for a little bit, which is kind of sad, and Luke, thank God, commits reverse police brutality on Inspector Chelmy upon seeing him for the first time, going, "Wait, you criminal?" "Yes," and then immediately trying to tear his flesh off of his bones to take a mask off that doesn't exist. You know, basic stuff. But you also get introduced to Anton, the mayor / royalty of the town of False Sense, which is a clever play on words, you gotta admit, of false sense, as you have a false sense of security while I'm breaking into your house, and I'm the one armed with a Glock 19, but this time I'm not shooting at Professor Layton, I'm shooting at your chest of drawers. It contains the box. This game is really where Layton hits his stride for the first time. The game just has really fun mini-games, really fun little collectibles. Well, not technically collectibles, but you get my point. The puzzles are all really fun. It's just a fun game. I really enjoyed seeing mysteries unfold, such as, wait, you're not Flora, you're a man. Oh no. You know, stuff like that. And seeing just genuinely people be happy and, I don't know, I just like the ending. The ending's way too somber for me. I really like the final puzzle as well, but like the ending gets me every single time. It is so sad. The puzzle difficulty gets way better with the Diabolical Box / Pandora's Box. The puzzle difficulties actually have a sense of... Well, the best I could do is compare it to the difficulty you feel when playing Celeste. Wow, this is hard! But I'm the problem, not the game. It gives you the sense of, I need to get better, not this game is absolute trash, how dare it tell me that 3 plus 3 isn't 10. Everyone knows it is. What, I'm only like 5 years old? But puzzle difficulty aside, there really isn't too much of a downside to this game. They fixed Layton's character sprite, for sakes, it shouldn't have been like that at the start. It really shouldn't have been. I did not like Layton's first sprite. But they make everything look beautiful, the art for the backgrounds is just amazing, and the sounds that come out of the DS speakers usually don't sound too compressed, which is a feat of the time. Overall, Professor Layton and Diabolical Box / Pandora's Box, well, that's getting a drag to say, is an amazing second entry into an amazing series. It neatly ties on to the end of the last game by having Flora in there and Don Pavolo, but it doesn't set itself too close that you would need to play the Curious Village first. It has just the right amount of linking into its past game to establish itself, but not make the player go, what is a chimney pot? Stuff like that. There's neat little nods to Curious Village, stuff like that, but it's just such a good sequel in the way that it can be played individually and you would have fun regardless.
Ah, here it is, my time machine. You know, it may be dangerous to use, but, you know, nobody, under any circumstances, will ever get near it. Besides, I mean, I have it such under close surveillance, it would be impossible for anybody to potentially steal it. You want to bear eyes upon it? I mean, sure, what else could it do? Cause a cataclysmic chain of events that would alter the course of history? Nerds. Yes, that is the time machine. Stop asking yourself why you're watching this video.
Professor, I hope this letter finds you well. As for me, I am in quite a predicament.
Professor Layton and the Lost Future. The game's so good I own it thrice. Why am I like this? Professor Layton and the Lost Future, of course, or the Unwound Future if you're stupid. And I hate you. Die. Yeah, Professor Layton and the Lost Future, correct tense, is the best Professor Layton game that ever really came out. I mean, I haven't played the 3DS games yet, I aim to, but I know deep down nothing can beat the absolute hype of this game. The fact that it takes the Layton formula, reimagines it, and then spits in your face telling you you're a dweeb, you're not good enough to play this game, no one's good enough to play this game. Why aren't I good enough? And, you know, tells you this beautiful, cleverly intertwined story. It fits so perfectly with Professor Layton, such as certain mysteries that people were asking, like, where did Layton's hat come from? And what will happen when they all grow up? It adds such good twists to the ending. I already gave a spoiler when I say this. With future Luke actually being Clive, which is just a funny name. The time machine's not a time machine, it's a fancy elevator. The professor knows all this. You don't. You're a stupid idiot. But the professor knew. And, like, the assassination of the Prime Minister, that's always fun. I always love that. The characters in this game, yet again, are the same as the main characters. They don't really change much throughout the games. However, in this one, Don Pavolo is old. He's just old. And also, I can't remember where Flora comes in here. I just know she is here. And they introduced a new character, Celeste, which the professor goes, are you my girlfriend? And she goes, no, I'm not your girlfriend. And then when the game's over, she is like, yes, I am. And the professor cries, which makes me cry. It makes me cry a lot, uncontrollably, for hours, because it's... Why does she have to leave, man? He had it all going for him. The game is just amazingly fun. It doesn't matter how long you play for, how little you play for, whether you're good at puzzles, whether you're not good at puzzles. It really is just the best Layton game for anyone coming into the series. Somebody who's had the series since they were like 5. I'm raising my hand, you can't see it behind the screen. You know, stuff like that. It's a game that everyone can enjoy to some degree. I absolutely love the story, I love the art, I love everything about this game. And it's so fun. It literally, I could sit here, you could give me Professor Layton and the Curious Village, and I would maybe play it for 2 hours and have to put it down. I'd pick it up again, but I would have to put it down. Give me the Lost Future, I'll be sat there for about 2 years. Probably because I won't be able to get past one puzzle where I'm just completely stupid and didn't realise that you just had to turn your 3DS upside down and then it gave you the answer. Again, besides that, all of the puzzles, really fun, just genuinely one of the most pure fun pieces of Layton history. The puzzle difficulty here, I would like to say it was kicked up a notch, but I can remember that this is the only Professor Layton game I had managed to beat when I was little, and I did it without help from my mother. Because little old 7-year-old Goop used to run to his mother and go, Mother, I can't get the ball. Stuff like that, you know, it's typical of people who were under 12 to do that when playing the game, but the puzzle difficulty really just popped off. I don't really know how to explain this otherwise. It mashes together the initial difficulty of Curious Village with the simplistic puzzle scheme of Diabolical Box, Pandora's Box. I don't care which way you say it at this point, I have both of them. Screw you. You know, it combines both of them together. It makes the perfect Layton puzzle formula. There is no downside. The final conclusion on this game has to be one of just ungodly high praise. This is one of the DS's best games with no contest whatsoever. It not only helped shape the minds of a generation, as weird as that is to say, it is also amazing in every aspect it strives to be. It's not only that, it's not only not afraid to try and tackle certain topics, it also does it so beautifully by just making the game fun, amazing to look at, complex in so many ways that, you know, looking at it from an outsider's standpoint, you go, who is Clive? Is that a herb? But knowing the story, you go, oh my god, it was Clive all along, I've been fooled, I'm such a fool, oh my god, Professor Layton is so smart, marry me now. As I was saying though, Lost Future, 10 out of 10 game. It's one of the only games that I would probably, you know, if I was a game journalist, slap a 10 out of 10 sticker on, call it an evening.
Well, that about sums up the original range of my collection. As you can see, it is very vast, and most of the exhibits are not made up. There is the other section, but we don't go there. You want to go there? Oh, I never knew you were such a brave fellow. Alas, I think we're running out of time for today. Say, how would you like to get hit by a blunt object 73 times? I want to test the human limits. No? Why did you think that was an option?
I want to thank you all so much for waiting for this video. I know it has been almost a full 2 months since the last big video, and I would really like to apologize for that. Things got ahead of me. But if you did like this video, please consider leaving a comment. I always try my best to respond to every single comment I get. If you don't believe me, you can check any of my old videos. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a good day going forward. Thank you. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and I will see you next time.